So just take a picture of this. Patrick Mahomes is ranked 7 down total points scored in fantasy. Lamar is third. Um, Jalen Hurts is second. And then Josh Allen tops it off. That's because of the rush upside. Patrick Mahomes has that rush upside, but not as much as Lamar, Jalen, and Josh. So I think that's where we see the difference. So just take a picture of this. Patrick Mahomes is ranked 7 down total points scored in fantasy. Lamar is third. Jalen Hurts is second. And then Josh Allen tops it off. That's because of the rush upside. Patrick Mahomes has that rush upside, but not as much as Lamar, Jalen, and Josh. So I think that's where we see the difference. This is going to be interesting here. So going into actually top five is really not a disagreement. So going to top five, you got Trey Benson, and then I added Bucky Irvin. So earlier you had Bucky Irvin's at 3. I had Trey Benson at 3. So it's like we agree on the player, but the spots we had a different location.
Either way, if they all fell in line, we would at least have a couple of them, regardless of what spot they are.
That's true. I'll be honest. I lose a lot of interest in this running back group that's coming out this year. So I had to go dig and find a 10 to throw for my spot. You had Jalen Wright. I had Edwards from Georgia. Moving on to the 10th spot. Who do we have ranked 10th? So this is where we agree to disagree, right?
Yeah.
So you got Kenneth Walker in Seattle, and then I picked Isaiah Pacheco. Now, comparing the two side by side, there's not much difference. For my wide receiver,
yeah, do it.
All right, is Michael Thomas for the Saints. Now he's not a star player anymore, but he's still got a little bit of juice in him. If he could stay healthy, he could play good. I do not think he's going to go back to the Saints. I think the Saints are going to release him. It's more freeing up that salary cap and doing all that good stuff. And it's time. So, but where I think, and the rumored, there's a chance he could be going to the Ravens. So there is an actual rumor out there that he could be signing with the Ravens. I could see that. That would help out Zay Flowers a lot. Now, the other two teams I've not heard nothing about. These are me just taking a guess and shooting in the dark. But looking at the needs for teams, Tennessee needs some wide receivers. So I picked Tennessee as another landing spot to kind of juice up that.
You're sending him to die.
Well, I mean, that is a place to go. The other place, and that's also sending them to die, is the Panthers. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Michael. You're one of my favorite wide receivers, always have been. And there I am sending you to Tennessee and the Panthers. But I'm hoping he lands in the Ravens. I really do. I think if he can stay healthy, that's the key.
Let's do it.
All right. So welcome back to the Dynasty Football Maniacs. So in the last episode, we covered free agency on the offensive side of the ball. Today, we are going to talk about defense side. So yes, this show is going to have a little bit of IDP in it. If you've not played an IDP fantasy league, it's a little different. So most people just play offensive side and draft a defensive team. We go as far as drafting individual defensive players. And our leagues love defensive players. So they score just as good as that offensive side. So if you have a good defensive side, you can win championships. But you still need to have a decent offensive side to do it, just like in the NFL. So we play the defensive positions are your DL, which consists of your defensive ends and your defensive tackles, and then your linebackers, and then you have defensive backs, which consist of your cornerbacks and your safeties. Now, a lot of your DLs will also play linebacker position. That's the nice thing about defense. A lot of these players and the linebackers are also dual playing defensive ends. So when you get that good player that swaps in and out, like a Micah Parsons or players like that, Patrick Queen, they're good players to have because they got that dual position. So you can build your roster on that.